McGee and Molly, with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show opens with Here's My Heart. Ladies and gentlemen, fate is about to knock at the door at 79 Wistful Vista. And here in the living room at 79 Wistful Vista, where fate is about to knock at the door, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Who's that?
You heard the man. It's fate.
Oh. Come in, Fate.
Mr. Fragile live here?
Who?
Mr. Fragile. I got an express package for him. This is 79 Wistful Vista, ain't it?
That's right. Let's see the package. Oh, this says Mr. Fibber McGee. Oh, that fragile refers to the contents, sir.
Oh, excuse me. Sign for it right here, buddy.
Okay. There you are. Now, who's it from? Is there a return address?
Well, let me see. Oh, yeah, it's from Use No Hooks. Goodbye.
To Mr. Fragile from Use No Hooks. Oh, dear, where will this end up?
What is the package, dearie?
Search me. It's short for $800, so it couldn't be that model airplane kit I sent for.
Well, it's marked fragile. Maybe they said the hostess put it. Say, I think I know what it is.
You do? What?
Well, you open it and see. It's a surprise.
Huh? A nice leather case. Oh, look, it's got my name stamped on it. In gold letters.
Sure.
What the... Hey, look, it says, Fibber McGee, Special Representative of the Meaning Watch Corporation.
Sure. Surely you've read the advertisements about meaning watches.
Yeah, sure.
Every little meaning has a movement all its own.
Yeah, but I ain't their representative.
Oh, yes, you are.
Huh?
Well, I met the president of the watch company at a bridge party at Mrs. Uppington's.
Yeah?
And he said he was looking for a local representative, and I suggested you.
Oh, gee, Molly, I appreciate this, but that's right, and I ain't got time to handle watches. I'm too busy with my stamp collection.
You haven't got a stamp collection.
Well, I can start one, can't I?
Yes, but on this job, you get a $50 drawing account and 10% commission.
I do? Oh, boy, say, this is a job, ain't it?
Sure.
See, now, if I sell 100 watches, it's 100 apiece. That's 10,000. 10% of 10,000 is 1,000. Oh, boy, $1,000 a week.
But now, look...
Hey, let's move out of this dump and take a suite at the hotel. This is no place for a guy making $1,000 a week. I got a position to maintain. I have to...
Come in.
Hello, kids. Hey, can I use your names for reference? I want to be a scoutmaster.
Why, certainly, Mr. Oldtimer. Go right ahead.
I didn't know you were interested in scouting, old-timer. You know how to build a fire without matches?
Yep. Rub 2 sticks of wood together. I done it once. Hard work, too.
Did you start a fire?
Nope. But I got so warm I didn't need one.
Well, now, you just go right ahead and use our names as reference, Mr. Oldtimer.
Thanks, baby.
The way you're covered with moss, old-timer, maybe the scouts can use you to tell which way is north.
That's pretty good, Johnny. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one Lithuanian feller says to t'other Lithuanian feller, say, says...
Well, what'd he say?
Dunno, daughter. I don't savvy Lithuanian.
Well, come on, Molly. I'm anxious to get started selling these watches. Boy, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yes, and you better take very good care of them.
Don't worry. I'm used to taking care of beautiful things. Ever since I married you.
Oh. Why, McGee, what a sweet thing to say.
Oh, well, shucks. Remember, I said it anyway in case I don't get time to buy you a Valentine. Now, let's see. Who'd I better call on first?
Well, how about the Wistful Vista Friendly Credit Jewelers?
Oh, they're the time payment outfit, aren't they?
Yes. $1 down and let's grow old together. But that's a good place to start. You want me to go with you, dear?
Absolutely. You got me this job, didn't you?
Yes, but...
That's why I want you along. You had faith in me, and you're too young to have your faith lifted.
Oh.
Well, how do I look, Molly?
Better wear a necktie.
Oh, I don't want to wear a necktie.
Remember, $1,000 a week.
Oh, that's right. I'll wear my spats, too. Where are my spats?
Search me, I don't believe
Oh, I know. I left them here in the hall closet. Got to straighten out that closet one of these days.
Well, why don't you do it right now?
It's too soon.
Why?
Still gets a laugh.
McGee, did you read the little pamphlet that came with the samples on how to give a sales talk?
Nope, I didn't need to. These watches sell themselves.
How do you know?
It said so in the pamphlet. Shucks, when I get those...
Hi, Mr. McGee.
Oh, hello there, little girl. Hey, what you doing downtown?
I'm giving Abraham Lincoln a birthday party, and I had to come down and get some decorations.
Oh, well. Oh, that's very patriotic of you to celebrate Lincoln's birthday, sis. He was a wonderful man.
I know it. My teacher said he walked 20 miles through the snow to take back a book he borrowed once.
Yes. Yes, I guess people were more honest in them days, sis.
I know it.
Nowadays, if one of your friends borrows a book, you can kiss him goodbye. And if Madeline Carroll is listening, I'll be glad to loan her Robinson Crusoe. I'm just kidding, Molly.
Yeah? Did you get Bob Hope's permission to use Madeline Carroll's name?
Well, shucks.
Hey, Mr. McGee.
Huh?
Why do they call Mr. Lincoln a great
Emancipator?
Yeah. Why did they call him that? Why did they?
Why, because he emancipated people. He set them free.
Oh.
Sure.
Well, and Willie Toops' brother is one of those, I betcha.
Huh? What you mean, sis?
He's the usher at the Bijou Theater, and when Wally and I go in, he sets us free.
Well, I'm glad you're learning about Lincoln, sis. He was one of the world's really great men. And there's no bunk about that.
Oh, yes, there is, I betcha.
Oh, no, there isn't.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, no, there isn't.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh. What did you ever hear about Lincoln that you couldn't believe?
Oh, that stuff about him living in a log cabin, I betcha.
What? What's so hard to believe about Lincoln living in a log cabin?
Well, he was too tall in the first place, and in the second place, he would have drowned in all that syrup.
Well, come on, Molly. I got to get started selling these watches.
Say, are you sure you know your sales approach, McGee?
Hello, folks. What's this about a sales approach?
Well, McGee is the agent for some expensive watches, Mr. Wilcox. Maybe you can help him along.
Oh, he can't help me, Molly.
Oh, I don't know.
A good watch tells you what time to go places and do things.
Yes.
But now look, a nice watch is something that can be handed down from generation to generation. It's an heirloom.
Well, so is a knowledge of good housekeeping. And no burglar can sneak in and steal that, you know.
Hey, now, wait a minute, Harlow. Let's put it this way. Suppose you were broke and hungry and all you had in the world was one of my watches and a can of your, you know what. Which would be the most valuable to you?
Well, I'd say it's about even. You could hawk the watch to get some food, and you wouldn't need any furniture. You could eat off the floor. Well, good luck to you, pal. So long now.
That guy. They say he's always been so interested in kitchen linoleum that when he was just a kid, his mother kept 2 dishes under the kitchen table.
Really?
One marked for Fido and one marked for Harlow. Well, here's the jewelry store, Molly. Let's go in.
Good evening. Good afternoon. I'm Vera Saradin. What was it you wanted, please? We're having a special bargain sale today on precious stones. Look, here's our beauty.
Hey, what is that? I never saw a pink stone like that.
That is our pigeon's blood ruby.
Yeah? Pigeon's blood ruby. I think your pigeon needs a transfusion, sis.
How much are you charging?
Look, McGee, you better be getting down to business.
Yeah, I think so, too. I'm the exclusive representative for the Meaning Watch Company, sis. The watch with the hands that go round in the best circles.
Yes, with a meaning in your pocket, there's a meaning in your life.
Now, I'm sure that you're familiar with the quality of our product, sis. The name Meaning on a watch is like sterling on silver, like Johnson's wax on, like Johnson on wax, and like
Wrigley on woolen underwear.
Yeah.
Excuse it, please, but our clientele don't buy such expensive watches.
Well, show her some samples, dearie. That'll break her down.
Good idea. Now, look, miss, what was your name, sis?
Callahan, Rebecca Callahan.
Okay, McCushla. Now, if you'll just cast them smiling Irish eyes of yours over these beautiful examples of the watchmaker's art, I think you'll have to admit...
Okay, everybody. Up with your hand just as a stick-up.
Heavens,
Hand
yeah.
up. And you, sister, hand over all the diamonds and emeralds.
Hey.
Boy, Uncle Louie, it's happened.
Hey, what the... Who turned in that alarm? I'll learn you to get smart with me. Hey. Hey. I'll be back to get you later, sister.
Oh, gee.
Why, that big Lugan?
McGee, come back here. You'll get shot.
I don't care. That guy can't ruin a sale for me and get away with it. You stay here, Molly.
I'll do nothing of the kind. If you're going after him, I'm going after you.
Well, then, come on, then. Bring this application. Hurry up.
Oh, this is awful.
Hey, stop that man. It's a hold-up.
Stop me.
Stop it. Hey, officer, grab that man down the street there. It was a hold-up.
He tried to rob the jewelry store.
All right, sir, all right. Not so fast there, me bucko. What's all the shooting for? Give me your gun and I'll slap you with me nightstick.
That rabbit, I haven't got a gun.
This man isn't the thief, officer. The hold-up man went that way.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. Now calm down and explain
I'm
yourself.
telling you, you big lot. That guy tried to hold up the jewelry store. Are you going to stand here and let him get away? Why, you are...
Pipe down, you. What have you got in that case?
Now, you let go of that. Them are mine. That is, I'm in charge of them, at least.
Aha! A dozen gold watches. Caught you with the foot, didn't I, me bucko? Call the wagon, somebody!
Dad, Raddick, you give me back them watches.
Sonny, when you're going, time don't mean a thing.
But, officer, those watches aren't his.
You're telling me.
No, but I can explain.
All right, now come along quietly. But I'll put the nippers on both of you. Come
You'll
on
be
now.
sorry for this. I can
The King's Men sing Coming Through the Ride.
Every laddie has a lassie, nay, they they say that the lassies always pass me by. Yet all the girls, they smile at me, coming through the ride. If a body meet a body, coming through the ride. If a body kiss a body, need a body cry. Every little laddie has a bonny little lassie, but nay, they say, hey, I yet. All we lads and lassies get together in the heather when we're coming, but we're coming through the ride.
Now, don't worry about anything, Molly. I gave that cop a list of people to identify us. We'll get out of this all right.
But when? I don't want to spend 90 of the best days of my life in jail on bread and water. Though it would be a good way to take off a few pounds. Why, it'd be a wonderful way to take off a few pounds.
Don't talk yourself into it. We want to get out of here. Now, look,
All right, officer. Bring the suspects up to the bench.
On your feet, you two. Step up to the bench.
Now, look here, Judge. I'll have you done.
Be quiet. What's the charge, officer?
Well, Your Honor, there was a jewelry store stuck up at 14th and Oak, and a lot of excitement, and these two were running away from the scene of the crime, and I nabbed this bird with a bag full of gold watches.
Ladies and gentlemen, any Irish characters heard in this production are not to be confused with the Abbey Players.
Order, please, order. Now then, what's your name?
Fibber McGee, 79 Wistful Vista, and we want to get off at Kansas City.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're trying to railroad us, aren't you?
How about the president of the Meaning Watch Company that I represent? Why don't you get in touch with him?
We've already wired him with a full description of you, but I'll warn you, it looks pretty serious. You were practically caught in flagrante delicto.
That's a lie. We were caught right here in Wistful Vista.
Silence! Now, while we're waiting for witnesses...
Say, Judge, are you holding a couple of friends of mine here on some silly charge? Oh, hello, Fibber and Molly. What is this?
Look,
I'll tell the judge what you know. You know it.
Quiet! What's your name, mister?
I'm Harlow Wilcox, and I can vouch for
Wait a minute, you. Didn't I give you a ticket for parking overtime last week? And did you ever show up to pay the fine?
Oh, my gosh, I forgot all about it.
Oh, so you're defying the law, too, eh?
Oh.
A fine bunch of criminals.
But wait a minute, these people...
We know all about these people. Officer, hold this man Wilcox on an open charge.
Well, thanks for coming in anyway, Harlow.
Yes. It'll be nice to look across the prison yard and see one of the old familiar faces.
All right, let's get on with this.
Yeah, that's what I say. Let's get
That's
on.
not right, I tell you. It had nothing to do with stealing that elephant. Why, hi there. Good day, my dear. And to you, Weasel Paw.
Oh, hello, Mr. Boomer. Will you identify us to this judge?
Yeah, look, Boomer, to tell the judge how I was elected president of the Chamber of Commerce, will you?
Ah, yes. Glad you mentioned that, String Bean. Have a newspaper clipping of the event right here.
Let me see it, please.
Certainly. Have it right here someplace. Let me see now. Where I put that clipping. Clipping. Here's a pair of little pink panties I carry in memory of the best lamb chops I ever ate. Small box of bicarbonate of soda. I'm going to settle somebody's hash. There's a wire from home saying our cat just had kittens. Oh, not little Tommy. And a check for a short beer. Well, imagine that. No clipping.
Oh, dear.
Come to think of it, I used that clipping to clean my razor just before I used the razor to clean a bookie joint where I'd just been cleaned.
Hold this man, too, officer. Now, look, McGee, before the rest of your gang shows up to make things tougher for you, why don't you confess?
That's right, I ain't got anything to confess. You can't convict me on nothing but circumstantial evidence, and I demand a recount.
Here's Mrs. Abigail Uppington, Your Honor. She says she knows the suspect.
Well, I must say that this is... Well, what is all this, may I ask?
Mrs. Uppington, these people are charged with holding up a jewelry store. Can you vouch for them?
Well, of course I can, Your Honor.
Atta girl, Abby. We sure appreciate this.
Oh, not at all, Miss McGee. I owe you a favor after all the trouble you saved me about Fifi.
Who's Fifi?
That's Uppy's puppy.
May take it easy, Your Honor. You see, I started out to get a 1941 dog license for her, but Mr. McGee told me I didn't need a license for so small a dog, which saved me no end of trouble.
Oh, so he said you didn't need any dog license, did he? Officer? Yes, sir. Add another charge against this man. Conspiracy to defraud the city. and hold this woman for non-payment of taxes.
Your Honor, I protest.
Officer, I think we've stumbled into something big here. This looks like a regular crime ring.
Now, look here, you have no right to hold Mrs. Uppington. She's one of the wealthiest women in Wistful Vista.
That's very interesting. Officer, make a note to investigate this woman's income tax return. She might be the fence.
Oh, I'm a fence, am I?
Greetings, Gate.
Be quiet, you. Now, before I set your bail, McGee, I want you to know that...
Well, what's going on
Oh,
here?
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Good day, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Fibber.
Hi, Gildy.
Mrs. Uppington. Mr. Wilcox. Mr. Boomer. Well...
Look, Gildy, they're holding us here on a bum rack.
Yeah?
Tell this ham-handed horse's neck with a hickory hammer who we are, will you?
Order in the court. A few more offensive remarks like that, my good man, and you'll be charged with contempt.
I'd like to open a charge account here, too.
Now, wait a minute, folks. I'm sure this can be ironed out. Your Honor, this man is my next-door neighbor, and a respectable citizen.
And who are you?
I am Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, president of the Gildersleeve Girdle and Garment Company. Your wife probably wears a Gildersleeve girdle.
Yes, she does. And she thinks they're terrible. Incidentally, aren't you the Gildersleeve who occasionally writes about civic affairs for the newspaper?
Why, yes. It's nothing very literary, you know, but on occasion I flatter myself.
Didn't you write a letter last week complaining about the graft and inefficiency in the police department?
Well, I did. Well, you see, Your Honor,
You can sit between Mr. Wilcox and Mrs. Uppington. Move over, Mr. Boomer.
Book Mr. Gildersleeve, officer.
Yes, sir. You can't do this to me. I demand to know what I'm being charged with.
Just call it a little personal revenge, my friend. Your girdles pinch my wife, I'm pinching you.
You're a hard man, Your Honor.
All right, officer. Take all these people away and lock them up. All right. Come along now.
This is an outrage.
Hope I get my usual cell. I'll have the cigar on the radiator, man.
I shall take this up with the woman's...
Wait till I write to Racine about it.
All right, quiet now. In you go.
Don't push me.
Well, I guess I'm sort of the hostess here, folks, so make yourselves comfortable.
Please, Mr. McGee, how can you be so... Oh, with such levity in this terrible predicament? Think of it, an Uppington in jail. Oh.
You don't have any social position in the clink, Uppy. There's no who's who in the who's gal.
By George, if it wasn't for one thing, I'd write to my congressman about this.
What's that one thing, Throckmorton?
Well, no matter what I write to him about, he always sends me a package of seeds. And always petunia seeds. And I hate petunias.
Quiet, Mr. Gildersleeve, or they'll be bringing another charge against you. Hating flowers.
Whoa.
Gee whiz, I've got to get out of here. I've still got 6 Johnson wax dealers to call on.
Oh, please, Mr. Wilcox. After all, your commercial difficulties seem a bit trivial in view of...
Oh, now, look, everybody, take it easy. We'll be out of here just as soon as they hear from the president of the watch company, for whom I'm the local representative of. Or, hey, officer, didn't you get a wire from Mr. Meaning yet?
Sure we did, laddie buck.
Oh, well, then let us out of here. He verified the fact that I was selling watches for him, didn't he?
No.
What? What you mean, Bud?
He said his Wistful Vista representative was tall, dark, and handsome, magnetic personality, and a snappy dresser. And if you're that, I'm Ronald's boy, yeah. Now shut up and don't bother me again.
How'd he ever get that description of me? I never told him. Why, I didn't even apply for the job. Molly got it for me with... Oh. Hey, Molly.
Yes, dearie.
Just what did you tell the president of the watch company to get me this job?
Well, I told him you were tall, dark, and handsome, and...
Well, what was the idea? You know I ain't tall, dark, and handsome.
Well, I can dream, can't I?
Thank goodness we're out.
Yes. Well, now that you're out, McGee, are you going to keep on with the job?
I should say not. And what's more, the first guy that says watch to me is going to get socked right in the eye. Why, when I think what I want...
You've only got 10 seconds more, Fibber. Watch yourself.
Good night.
Good night, all.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with It's High Time. When you left your kitchen a little while ago, did you happen to notice your linoleum floors? Were they something to be proud of or ashamed of? Are the colors still fresh and bright, or are they faded and gloomy? Is the floor sparkling and gleaming so you're happy to work there? Or is it the kind of floor that never seems to get clean? Well, if you're not already using Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, find out how easy it is to have beautiful kitchen floors with practically no work. Buy a can of Glow Coat tomorrow. Pour it onto your floors, spread it around, and let it dry. That's all there is to it. There's no rubbing or buffing with Glow Coat. In 20 minutes, it dries to a beautiful, hard, long-lasting polish that brings out the colors of your linoleum, saves you cleaning work, and makes the linoleum itself last much longer. You really couldn't ask for more than that from any polish, could you? Remember the name Johnson's Glow Coat, spelled Glo-COAT. Ladies and gentlemen, through the courtesy of Johnson's Wax, we bring you the more or less correct time. At Ida, Idaho, it's 7:32½ Rocky Mountain time. At Chow, Maine, it is 9:32¾ Eastern time. At Umsky, Siberia, it's still yesterday. And at 79 Wistful Vista, it's time we dropped in on Fibber McGee and Molly.
Hey, Molly, you know what time it is?
No, does it matter?
Well, it does to me. On account of you know what I'm going to do?
Dearie, if I could ever foresee what you're going to do, I'd be one of those happy mediums people are always striking. What you going to do?
I'm going to go to bed.
What, at 8:30 in the evening?
Yep.
Don't you feel well, McGee?
Feel wonderful. Now, I'll feel better after one good solid night's sleep. You know, early to bed and early to rise, and you don't need to call any red caps to carry them bags under your eyes.
But my goodness, McGee, for years now I've been trying to get you to go to bed earlier, and now, well, why, I'm dumbfounded. What's got into you?
Well, I just got to thinking of us being on the Lux Theater program next week and all. We ought to cut out this staying up late.
Say, that's a good idea. We'll go to bed right now.
Okay.
It's only 8:30, and if we get up at 7, that's a good 10 hours sleep.
10 hours. Wow. Why, I'll leap out of bed in the morning ready to whip my weight in
Field mice.
Be that as it may or may not be or not. Now, whoever this is, watch me give him the brush off. I want to get to bed. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. What you want now? I can't take much time to dilly-dally. I want to get to bed early, I do.
Why?
Well, I just think it'll do me good, that's why. I've always been a late stayer-upper, so for once I'm going to be an early goer to bedder.
Well, personally, mister, I'm a take a nap in the afternoon.
Well, that's good, too. Builds up your resistance. And you got to have a lot of resistance to go through a winter, you know.
Well, gee, Mr. McGee, when will summer be here? When will it? I want to use my new roller skates.
Well, you can't rush these things, sis. We can't have summer until the pixies get their reservoirs all filled up. You mean to stand there with your little nose between your eyes and tell me you ain't heard about the pixies?
I haven't, I bet you.
think you're old enough to know about these things, sis.
Now, be careful, McGee.
You see, when the snow melts, it soaks into the ground, and the pixies gather it all up into a big reservoir way down deep under the earth. Then when summer comes, the pixies fill their little squirt guns full of water out of the reservoir and squirt it onto the roots of the flowers and plants so they'll grow, you see? And we can't have summer till they gather enough water. Look at that little face light up, Molly. Well, sis, does that answer your question?
Sure it does, I bet you. But what about the equinox?
The equinox, what are they?
Well, the equinox is an astronomical term to denote those periods of the year which usher in the spring and fall season.
Yeah, but what I was
An
talking...
equinox is when the sun's center crosses the equator and is either of 2 points where the celestial equator intersects the ecliptic.
Yeah, but what...
And if that's too tough for you, you can go back to the pixies.
You hear that, Molly? That kid has got a great IQ, hasn't she?
What's an IQ?
An infuriating quality. Speaking of infuriating quality, that reminds us. Uncle Dennis in yet?
Oh, he's been in all evening, dearie.
Huh?
Why, you can hear him in the other room. Listen.
That's the cat.
Is that Uncle Dennis?
Yes.
What's he doing?
Taking a cat nap. Now, come on and turn out the lights. You got the alarm clock?
Yeah, is this the correct time? 9:22?
Yes, it is. And we've lost a half an hour's sleep already, McGee. We better hurry. And don't forget now.
What is this, a conspiracy?
Looks like the Sandman is going to be left holding a bag tonight. Come in.
How do you do, Miss McGee? And Miss McGee.
Hi, Effie.
Will you help me?
Help? Don't tell me you've lost that diamond necklace again, Abigail.
Have you looked under all your chins, Uppy?
Please, Miss McGee. It's my automobile.
Well, it couldn't be under your chin.
It broke down right in front of your house.
Oh, well, I'm sure McGee will be glad to run out and get it started for you, won't you, dear?
Oh, Dad, Rabbit, I don't want to do this. We were going to go to bed.
Oh, never mind, Miss McGee. Perhaps I should get someone who thoroughly understands what they're doing.
Hey, wait a minute, Uppy. Who says I don't understand automobiles? Why, I was an expert mechanic when General Motors was a corporal.
Oh, but Miss McGee...
Why, half the developments in the modern motor are my inventions, Uppy.
Oh, indeed. Well, if you were the one who invented the automobile radio that goes dead while passing under a viaduct, congratulations, it's very restful.
That wasn't mine, but I spent 4 years as chief mechanic at the Biggs Body Works.
Yes, he did.
You should have seen the laboratory and workshop old man Biggs gave me just to tinker around in. Biggs Tinker McGee, I was known as. Biggs Tinker McGee, the brawny and brainy Bonaparte, a benzene buggy blacksmith, busy as a beaver, bright as a beacon, and bolting bumper brackets on bus bodies, boosted as the best boss in the business at pouring bronze bearings and bolt boilers, bringing back the bacon as the boss of the brake band, bumblebee of the brace and bit, and big bullfrog of the brass bicycle bell bongers, a breezy, brilliant bozo for budding boys to copy, but excuse me while I go to work on Uppington's job.
9:30. Aren't you ready for bed yet?
Oh, I'm still trying to get the grease off my hands that I got off of Uppy's car.
Oh, dear.
It's a fine state of how do you do. Here I try to go to bed early, and what happens? I spend 3 hours out there fixing the car at 15 above zero.
Did you find the trouble?
Yes, finally. No gasoline. Hand me my bathrobe, will you, Molly?
Here you are, dear.
Thanks. You ready for bed?
Well, I will be as soon as I finish brushing my hair. 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. There.
Well, you got any hair left on your head? The way you slap away at it with that brush every night.
Why, that makes it grow more.
Oh, yeah?
Why, certainly. Yeah. Your father used to use a hairbrush on you, didn't he?
Yeah.
And look how you developed.
Okay, never mind. Well, just as soon as I get...
McGee, what's that? Sounded like a prowler on the front porch. Go see who it is. Don't wait, I'll go with you.
Well, all right. What's it? Probably just a cat. I hope. Come on.
If that's the cat, McGee, somebody's taught him how to use a flashlight and a bunch of keys.
Must be a het cat. I'll be quiet, Molly, and I'll catch this guy red-handed. 1, 2, 3. I caught you in the act, didn't I, Bud? Now, suppose you
Why,
explain.
McGee, it's Mr. Boomer.
Ah, good evening, my dear. And a nasty nocturnal nip up to you, nutcase.
What you doing on our front porch at this time of night, Boomer?
Just checking up to see that your front door was locked. Sleepy, slappy, and sloppy. Checking all the front doors in the neighborhood. Yes.
A likely story, Mr. Boomer. We already have a night watchman in this neighborhood.
Of course you have, my dear. I'm helping him out tonight after he met with an accident.
Oh.
Accident? What accident?
Seems he bumped himself on a pair of brass knuckles. I would have run to his rescue, but I was several inches away at the time. Very regrettable. Yes, indeed.
Say, Mr. Boomer, you can find more ways of getting into people's house than a cold draft.
You wrong me, my dear. I'm a bona fide night watchman. Let me show you my star. Now, what did I do with that star?
Where is it?
Star. Here's a large dental mirror for looking gift horses in the mouth. Dress shirt, badly scorched when my laundress walked out on me. Yes. She decided to strike while the iron was hot. Here's a postcard from Sheila the shoplifter. Says she took a Greyhound bus to Chicago, but they made her bring it back. Here's a photograph of Badger Game Bessie in a bathing suit. You ought to see her dive in Toledo. What's this? Oh, yes. Payment for a ball player I sold to the Cincinnati Reds. See? A check for a short stop.
Oh.
Well, imagine that. No star. How did I happen to miss that? He must have had it pinned inside his vest, the double-crosser. Well, good night, my dear, and to you, Burkworth.
It's odd, ain't it, Molly, that a guy like Boomer who don't know a note of music is going to wind up someday as a conductor?
Musical?
No, electrical. Now, come on, let's get to bed. What time is it?
Well, it's almost 2 o'clock.
Wow.
And we started to go to bed at 8:30.
Well, maybe we couldn't have got to sleep that early anyway. I can sure sleep now. I'm so sleepy.
Heavenly days now.
That's dad. Can't we have a moment's peace in our own house of all the...
Oh, my. Guess I better answer that we'll never get a night's sleep. 79 Molly McGee, Wistful Vista speaking.
Well, hello, Molly. This is Harlow Wilcox. Sorry to disturb you folks, but can you tell me how to spell indispensable?
McGee, Mr. Wilcox wants to know how to spell indispensable.
Give me that phone. See how dramatic I did that? I'm practicing up for Lux next week. Hello, Wilcox. What's the idea of waking us up in the middle of the night?
Oh, now, wait a minute, Fibber. I have to get a sales letter in the mail first thing tomorrow, and I can't spell indispensable because you borrowed my dictionary and never returned it. Look it up for me, will you, pal? Indispensable.
What?
Indispensable. You know, like Johnson's wax is indispensable to a well-kept floor and in the protection of furniture and woodwork.
Oh, indispensable. Well, that's spelled I-N-D-E-C-P-Q... Hey, why don't you use the word necessary? Like saying, to keep your home spotless and gleaming, Johnson's wax is necessary.
Say, great idea. Necessary it is. Now, let's see. That was 2 C's and 1 S, isn't it?
No, I think it's with 1 C and 2 S's. Hey, Molly, how do you spell necessary?
Give me that phone. Hello, Mr. Wilcox. What did you want to know?
Is necessary with 1 S and 2 C's?
Is what necessary with 1 S and 2 C's?
Look, Molly, I'm trying to point out that in order to give lasting beauty and protection to floors and furniture, Johnson's wax is necessary.
Why don't you say indispensable?
That's the word I want. Thanks, beautiful. Indispensable, the very thing. Hey, how do you spell indispensable?
Wait a minute. Hey, McGee, how do you spell indispensable?
I don't know.
Well, look it up.
Well, what is?
Mr. Wilcox's dictionary.
Okay, but you'll have to wait till I get it.
Where is it?
It's right here in the hall closet. Gotta straighten out that closet one of these days.
The Kingsmen sing In the Gloaming.
In the gloaming, oh my darling, when the lights are dim and low, and the quiet shadows falling, softly come and softly go. When the winds are sobbing faintly, will a gentle unknown roll? Will you think of me and love me as you did once long ago? When the winds are faintly sobbing, with a gentle unknown woe, will you think of me and love me as you did so long ago?
Hurry up, McGee. It's after 4 o'clock and you haven't had a wink of sleep.
I had to throw all that stuff back in that hall closet, didn't I? I'll be ready as soon as I brush my teeth.
Oh, what was that?
I knocked a couple of bottles off the medicine shelf. I'm so sleepy I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I'll clean it up in the morning, dearie. In the meantime, don't step in any broken glass.
I already did.
What? Oh, dear, let me see
No,
what
it's all right, it's all right. I stepped in some iodine, too. Boy, what a night. Tomorrow night I'm going to put a smallpox sign on the door and start going to bed at 5 o'clock. I'll move over, Molly. Here I come. And believe me, I sure... Oh, that rabbit. Who put that feeder chest there?
You did, 6 years ago.
Well, I must be off the beam. Boy, it's cold in here. We got enough blankets on that bed?
Plenty, but get in now before you catch cold.
Okay. Hot dog, at last. I'm so tired.
McGee.
Huh?
You forgot to turn the light off in the bathroom.
Hey, I'll flip you a coin to see who gets up and turns it on.
All right, you got a coin?
Well, I got one right here in my pants pocket. Oh, that's over there on the chair. Wait a minute. Okay, Molly, I got a 2-bit piece here. You call heads or tails?
Say, as long as you're up, why don't you turn off the light?
I never thought of that. Okay. Oh, boy, does this bed feel good. Good night, Molly.
Good night, dearie.
Hey, Molly.
Yes?
There's a fire someplace. You want to go to a fire?
No.
Me either. At my age, I ain't going to chase any more fires.
No, or anything else.
Huh?
Never mind. Good night.
Good night.
Enough room, dearie?
Good night. Gildersleeve. That's pretty. I'll teach him to ruin a guy's sleep. Where's my slippers? Oh, here they are. That thoughtless, selfish, unthinkable so-and-so can't ruin my night. Oh! I wish that cedar chest had quit crawling around the floor and staying one place.
Oh, McGee!
That rat Gildersleeve, what's the idea of beating our door in at this hour of the night? You ought to be ashamed. A guy your age out hooting all night. Why, if you had an ounce of decency...
Oh, wait a minute, McGee. I just wanted to ask you for the keys to your car.
Oh, that's all, eh? Hey, Molly.
Yes?
You know what this big baboon has got the unirrigated gall to ask me? He wants the keys to our car. Gildersleeve, you got more brass than the Marine Band. I got a good notion to pop you one right on top of you.
Now, look here, McGee. I was just trying to do you a favor.
A fine favor. Waking me up at this hour of the night.
I just woke up myself.
Huh?
I woke up and happened to look out the window, and there was your car standing outside.
Oh.
I knew you'd forgotten to put it in the garage, and I was afraid it would freeze up. So I was going to put it away for you.
Well, gee, that was pretty nice. I mean, well, that's pretty white of you.
I'm white, all right, chum. I'm frostbitten. Now, you give me your keys and go on back to bed.
Here, Gildy, and I'm sorry. I popped off at you. You're really a great guy.
Oh, you don't mean that, McGee.
Yes, I do, Gil. You're the best friend I ever had.
Really, little chum?
You betcha. Why, there ain't anything you could ask me to do that I wouldn't do for you. My buddy.
Nothing at all?
Nothing. Just ask me. That's all. Just ask me.
All right, I will, McGee. Take these keys and put that jalopy away yourself. Good night, buddy.
Why, that mealy-mouthed double-crossing.
Come to bed before you get cold.
Okay, I'm coming. You know what Gildersleeve just done? He wanted to... Oh! That rat, that cedar chest!
Just remember to calm yourself, McGee. Remember the old saying, late to bed and late to get up, and you'll feel all day like a poison puff.
At last. Boy, can I sleep now. Ah, I'm so tired,
4 o'clock. We were going to bed at 8:30. Good night, McGee.
Good night.
McGee, somebody's at the door.
Let's be quiet. Maybe they'll go away.
I've got a better idea. Bring him in and let us go away.
Oh, all right, I'm coming. Ow!
Did you kick that cedar chest again?
Oh, but I thought I was going to.
Hello there, Johnny. Telegram for you. Sign here.
What's the idea of bringing this so early in the morning, old-timer?
You mean you kids ain't up yet, Johnny? What you gonna do? Sleep all the forenoon?
Why, you old...
You ought to get dead early. Now, you're just a grown boy and you need your sleep. Don't forget, an hour's sleep before midnight is worth
Dad,
more.
I know that. I started to go to bed at 8:30. And if it hadn't been for a bunch of jugheads like you hammering at my door all night, I'd have been in bed.
Easy there, Johnny. Easy. Don't take that tone of voice with me. I'm sensitive.
Yeah. You're sensitive, all right. Like a violin. And confidentially, you shrink.
That's pretty good, Johnny. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it.
I don't care how you heard it. Good night. That takes care of that old fossil.
What was it, dearie?
Ah, it's a telegram.
Who from?
I don't know. I ain't opened it yet. Wait till I get back in bed. Oh, that's cold.
We weren't sure. Weird.
Why? Well, I'll be here.
What is it?
Why, it's from our sponsor.
What's he say?
He says, Dear Fibber and Molly, your last 2 or 3 shows have sounded very tired. Why don't you try getting a good night's sleep?
Oh, McGee, what are you doing?
I'm kicking that cedar desk.
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment. And now here are the simple directions for keeping linoleum floors clean and beautiful. Spread a little Johnson self-polishing glow coat lightly over the floor surface. This amazing liquid polish is so easy to use, goes on so smoothly that a child can apply it without any difficulty. Glow coat never streaks or smears, never becomes gummy. It dries in 20 minutes, becomes a sparkling, gleaming surface without any rubbing or buffing. The floor that wears a glow coat polish is protected from the wear of scuffing feet. Dirt and stains can't cling to the shining surface. If you want to save yourself hours of work and also make your linoleum last longer, order Johnson's Glow Coat from your dealer. Look for the attractive yellow can. And remember, you save money on the larger sizes.
Hey, Molly,
Yes.
must be morning. I just heard a rooster crowing.
That wasn't a real rooster.
It wasn't?
No.
What was it?
This has been such a wonderful evening, Patsy News is making a picture of it.
Good night.
Good night, dog.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
Hello.
Hiya, new car?
No, car new. It does look new, though, doesn't it? Oh, this Johnson's Car New Auto Polish is really something. Actually cleans and wax polishes a car at the same time. One operation, half the time it used to take. No more dirty cars for me. Why don't you buy a can of Johnson's Car New and wax polish your car this easy way? Here's how it's spelled. C-A-R-N-U. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with I See the Moon at Noon.
Clark, why should I wax my floors? What does the wax really do for them?
Well, that's a good fundamental question, and I can answer it very clearly. Have you ever rubbed an apple to make it shine? Do you realize that what made it shine was a thin coat of wax with which nature protects fruit and flowers? It's true. And the use of genuine wax on floors is also for protection. When you put Johnson's wax on your floors, you're protecting them against scratches, stains, and wear of all kinds. The wax coat is a glowing shield of protection. And just as rubbing the apple made it more beautiful, polishing your floors with genuine Johnson's wax adds greatly to their beauty. And for that matter, to the beauty of your entire home. And there's a third reason for Johnson waxing your floors. It saves you work all year, does away with tiresome floor scrubbing. And besides floors, there are 100 extra uses for Johnson's wax in your home. May I urge you to buy some tomorrow? For the last few years, a certain citizen of Wistful Vista has been quietly collecting bottles. If you can collect bottles quietly. And here, loading his loot into the car to take it downtown and sell it, we find that collector of infernal residue and his patient spouse, Fibber McGee and Molly.
Thank goodness that's about all. Ain't got room for many more in that back seat. Hand me that last carton, will you, Molly? Thanks.
You're welcome, dearie. Now you can do something for me.
Sure, what?
Look, since 1938, you've carefully saved every bottle that came into the house.
Yeah.
And I never asked you why. I was never one to pry into your private life. If you wanted to collect bottles or buttons or butterflies or baboons, it was all right with me. But now I'd like to know what your idea was, and if you don't tell me, I think I'm going to scream.
Gee, I'm sorry, Molly. I thought all the time you knew I'd been saving those bottles for the refund.
The refund?
Sure. Instead of trotting down to the grocery every day with 2 ginger ale or root beer bottles and coming home with a dime, I thought I'd save them for a couple of years and really collect some dough. Catch on to it?
Well, heavenly days. And how much do you expect to get for the lot, me bold financier?
Well, averaging 2 cents per bottle, and I got exactly 537 bottles. I figure I'll get about $11. And that ain't hay.
And to think how many glass blowers have been wasting their breath when they might have been learning the piccolo. $11 for 3 years' work.
What do you mean, 3 years' work? It ain't been work.
What?
It's been fun.
What you mean?
It's been my hobby. It's kept me off the streets.
Well, where are you taking them?
Grocery store. You want to go along?
I wouldn't miss it for a 40-acre farm with Clark Gable as hired man. Let's go.
Okay, climb in.
Well, where'll I sit? You got both seats full of bottles.
Well, sit up in front there. You can make a kind of a little nest among the root beer and ginger ale bottles.
Fine. They were soft drinks, so I ought to be quite comfortable.
Now, don't bust any of them. I got a lot of time and money in this stuff.
You got a lot of water in them, too. Something's dripping down my neck.
That's just the rinse water. Some of it ain't quite dry yet. Some of them ain't. Well, here we go.
Hey there, Johnny. Hello, Johnny.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Oldtimer.
If you're going downtown, would you mind if I rode as far as... Hey, what you doing, Johnny? Bootlegging?
No, I ain't bootlegging. I'm taking these bottles back for a refund.
Is that so?
Yeah.
From the looks of the bottles, you must have threw quite a party, kid. Why didn't you invite me? I'm great at parties. Do card tricks, impersonations, and I can take my vest off without removing my coat.
Well, that's very interesting, Mr. Oldtimer, but we didn't give a party.
I've been saving these bottles for 3 years, old-timer.
What for, Johnny?
Well, it's just a hobby with you, Mr. Oldtimer. Haven't you got a hobby?
I got 2 hobbies, daughter. I'm a screensaver, and I never step on cracks in the sidewalk.
Well, every man to his taste, old-timer. I collect bottles, so you collect string.
And I've got a blue serge coat that collects lint.
That's pretty good, Snooky. But that ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, hey, says, did you hear this Fibber McGee and Molly on the Lux Radio Theater last night?
Well, what'd the other fellow say?
Nothing, Johnny. He just sneered. Well, I guess you ain't got room enough for me to ride with you, Johnny. I'll walk down to the corner and wait for a streetcar.
Why, the streetcars don't go past that corner, Mr. Oldtimer.
That's why I like to wait there, daughter. It's quiet. So long, sir.
Now, what's the matter with this thing? It started off all right this morning. That rat to death.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. Now, don't bother me now on account of...
Hey, where'd you get all the bottles, mister? Criminy, is that ever a snag of them, though?
Hey, watch your language there, sis. I got my wife with me.
Hey, what you gonna do with all the bottles?
I'm going to take them back to the store for a rebate. I says I'm returning them for a rebate. Rebate. Don't you know what a rebate is?
Sure I do, I betcha. It's when you put another worm on the hook. But gee, mister, you can't catch enough fish to fill all those bottles.
That rat, sis, I ain't going fishing.
Don't you like to fish?
Sure I like to fish.
So do I, mister. Can I go with you?
Where?
Fishing.
Look, sis, get this through that little sunbonnet full of sawdust, will you? I ain't going fishing.
I know it.
Well,
Why?
because in the first place, I ain't got time. In the second place, the season ain't open. And in the third place, I don't want it. In the fourth, fifth, and sixth places, I gotta take these bottles back.
What for?
For a rebate.
Well, I guess this is where I came in, and my mama doesn't like to have me stay through 2 shows. So long, mister.
Get them brakes fixed. Well, come on, Molly. Here's the grocery store.
All right, dearie. And believe me, it'll be a relief to get up off these things.
So come, why?
Well, there were 3 mustard bottles leering at me like I was a piece of corned beef.
Now, let's see. I'll take a few samples in first. Now, let me see. 1 ginger ale, 1 ketchup, 1 grape juice, 1 root beer, 1 horseradish. That ought to give them an idea.
Yeah, it'd give me one if I was them, but I hope they don't think of it. Well, good luck to you, dearie.
Thanks. I'll be back in just a minute, and you can help me carry in the rest of the... Whoop! Dad, Bud, why don't you look for... Oh, hi, Nick.
Well, for skin's sakes, Fisher. Excuse me for being such a big clumsy. I guess my feet are all gone.
Oh, don't worry about the bottles you broke, Mr. DePoplis. They were just a handful of empties.
Oh, is that so? I'd got at least 11 cents refund on them bottles. You going to pay me for them, Nick?
Certainly. How much?
Well, I think he said 11 cents, Mr. DePoplis.
Oh, sure. Well, here's 2 bits apiece, Fizzer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nick. I can't make change.
Well, take the quarter, McGee, and I'll give Mr. DePoplis 3 more bottles. Here, Mr. DePoplis, here's your change.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
This is being a lot of fun, Cupid. Here's $2. Give me some more.
Hey. Cut that out. You think I want to get pinched for all this broken glass all over the sidewalk? Lay off, DePoplis.
Huffy duckly, Fizzer. And look, Mrs. DePoplis is telling me to ask you if you were caring to stop at our house some nights this week for a game of compact bridge. Don't do it, because she hates bridge. So long, Fizzer. So long, Cupid.
Goodbye, Mr. DePoplis. Now, McGee, don't step in any of that broken glass.
I already did.
Oh, dear, let me see it. Maybe I can...
That's all right. I stepped in some iodine, too. That's funny. That got a big laugh last week. Oh, well. Well, come on, Molly. Hold the door open for me.
All right.
Hi, Mr. Sales. Can you...
I'll be with you in just a minute, Mr. McGee. I'm waiting on a customer. Was there anything else, Mr. Wilcox?
Well, let me think. Oh, yes, I want a small box of curry powder. And send all this stuff right over to my apartment, will you please?
Oh, you, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Harlow. What was that stuff you just asked for?
Well, hello, folks. I just asked for a small box of curry powder.
Curry powder.
Shucks, you never told us you had a horse, Harlow.
Why, I haven't. This is the powder I put in the sauce when I make curry.
You mean you cook, Mr. Wilcox?
Well, sure, doesn't Fibber?
He does not. And I wouldn't think of letting him mess up my kitchen either.
Why, Molly, I'm ashamed of you.
What?
Why, there's no excuse for husbands not messing around in the kitchen these days if they want to. What if they do mess up the floor?
Excuse us, folks, but this is the part of the thing that pays for the stuff. What you mean, Harlow?
Well, I mean about... I mean about the linoleum being properly protected with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. The no rubbing, no buffing polish that shines as it dries. And what well-kept kitchen floor isn't in these modern times? Why, what if the old man does spill a gob of gravy or a splatter of hen fruit on the floor? Who cares? It can be wiped up in a jiffy with a damp cloth.
Say, that'd be a great premium to give away with every can of Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't what?
A jiffy. A pearl-handled jiffy to wipe the spots off the floor in. That'd be swell.
Oh, don't be silly.
Oh, don't you be silly.
Excuse me, Mr. McGee, you're next.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Sales. Well, we'll see you later, Wilcox.
And keep your curry up, Mr. Wilcox.
Yeah, stop in at our house sometime. I'll fry you a nice batch of stupefied scramble wings. With raisins. You like them?
I love them, if they're fried in deep fat.
Now then, what was it for you, Mr. McGee?
I want a refund on these bottles.
Now, let me see. You have a penny coming on the root beer, nickel on the ginger ale. What's this?
Oh, that's a horseradish bottle. So it's all washed and sterilized.
Sorry, no refund on those.
Well, how about the grape juice?
We don't carry that brand anymore.
The mustard?
Nope. Just on the root beer and ginger ale. Here's 10 cents.
Oh, hey, wait, I got a car full of them outside, but just wait till I...
Wait a minute, Mr. McGee.
Huh?
How many root beer and ginger ale bottles have you?
Oh, I'd say about 170, which would come to about 575, but you...
Oh, no, you don't.
Huh?
You haven't bought a dozen bottles of that stuff from me in 5 years. Take them back where you got them. This is a grocery, not a junkyard.
Now, you look here, Mr. Sale. If that's the way you're going to act, you're liable to lose our account.
Mrs. McGee, I've been trying to lose your account ever since you opened it. It's more bother than it's worth.
Oh, yeah? Well, it'll be all right with us, too.
Sure.
That last spinach you sent us had so much sand in it, I had to eat it with a niblick.
Mr. Sale, why has our account been so much trouble?
I'll show you. Look, here's your last order slip. Our delivery truck went clear across town to bring you 1 egg, 2 apples, 4 macaroons, and a box of toothpicks.
Say, who ordered those toothpicks?
I did, Molly.
What for?
Well, I was working on my ship model, and I ran out of lumber. Well, okay, bud, if that's the way you feel about it, give me my dime for these 2 bottles.
Oh, now look what you've done. You've got broken glass all over my rhubarb. Get out of here, and don't come back.
Oh, but look, I got a car full of bottles that I've been saving.
I don't care if you've got a fairy schooner full of Maxim. I don't want it. Go away!
Home?
No.
Where?
Drugstore.
Oh.
And furthermore, Mr. Kramer, if I'd ever suspected you wasn't going to make good on them bottles, I'd have never bought all my postage stamps in your drugstore.
What'd he say?
Shook his head.
What'd you do?
Shook my fist.
What'd he do?
Shook a shotgun.
What'd you do?
Shook. Hey, sis, I got these bottles here a while back, and I'd like to get a refund.
Sorry, sir. That was when we were under the NRA. No refund now.
Oh, but I want my dime.
You can't have it. You've washed off the little blue eagle.
Hey, Bud, I got a few bottles.
Sorry, I'm taking the play.
Look, mister, I've been everywhere in town. Do you refund money on...
I'm nothing. Beat it.
Well?
I guess I'm a chump, Molly. It's no use. Shucks, I thought I had a swell idea collecting these bottles, but, well, I guess I flopped.
Oh, now, don't take it to heart, dearie. Everybody sticks their neck out now and then.
Yeah.
That's why they have portholes on both.
Yeah, but shucks, who did...
Oh, there you are, Miss McGee. I've been looking all over Wistful Vista for you.
Hi, Abby.
Hello, Abigail. What was it you wanted?
Well, someone told me that Mr. McGee had several hundred old bottles he wanted to sell, and I was so afraid he'd dispose of them before I found him.
Well, there's no use in crying. What? What'd you say, Abby?
She sounds like an angel in disguise, McGee, and one of the cleverest disguises I ever saw.
You mean you want to buy these bottles, Abby?
Indeed I do, Miss McGee. How many have you?
Why, about 500, but what's the...
Splendid, splendid. Oh, what a lucky girl I am, really. 500 perfectly good bottles. But I warn you, Miss McGee, I drive a hard bargain.
Well.
I'm offering you $50 for the entire lot.
Heavenly days, $50.
Well, 60 then.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Uppy. That's ridiculous. Why, when I tell you how much I expected to get for these bottles, you...
Well, $75, and that is my final offer.
Oh, to the lady in the prematurely gray fur coat.
Say, I don't quite... This is so sudden. Look, what do you want these bottles for, Uppy?
Don't you wish you knew, you clever boy? You know the old saying, ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no anyway. Now, here, Miss McGee, here's the $75, and you may dump those bottles in my backyard any time today.
Pinch me, McGee. Oh, thank you. And thank you, Abigail.
Oh, no, thank you. And now, to celebrate the deal, I insist on taking you to dinner at the 400 Club. Oh, come now. I shan't take no for an answer.
There's no danger of you getting it for an answer, Mrs. Uppington.
I should say not. I suddenly got an appetite that'd make a steam shovel lower its bucket in shame. Now, climb in, Uppy. Let's go.
Oh, but where shall I sit, Mr. McGee?
Here, I'll make room for you, Abigail.
That's fun, really.
Ain't it, though?
Well, here we go. And don't let the horseradish get smart with you, Abigail.
The King's men singing The Covered Wagon rolled right along.
Oh, the covered wagon rolled right along, while the pioneers gave out a happy song. Me and Pappy did the driving, Mammy cooked and kept us thriving, and the covered wagon rolled right along. We left Kentucky on the 10th of May. Pappy said,
I'll get our victuals every day.
every day,
Mammy, you just grease the skillet. If we need some food, I'll kill it.
and the covered wagon rolled right along. Pappy's pants were made from skins of buffalo, poor buff. But when winter came and brought the ice and snow, cold and rough,
Pappy's pants ran out of leather.
Mammy prayed for milder weather, and the covered wagon rolled right along. Once a wildcat jumped at Mammy from the rear. Pappy winked an eye and said, now don't you fear. If he really tries to crowd her, we'll be having wildcat chowder, and the covered wagon rolled right along. Now at playing poker, Pappy won his fame. Once he got an Indian chief into a game. Pappy wound up with 4 deuces and the squaw with 6 papooses, and the covered wagon rolled right along. Pappy sold a mule and then went on a spree. And he said, at last I got my liberty. Mammy said, cut out your bragging, and she hitched him to the wagon, and the prairie schooner rolled right along. Now at last old California came in view, and we realized the troubles we'd been through. Me and Ma are lucky creatures, Pappy's making western features, and the covered wagon rolls and rolls right along.
Boy, oh boy, what a day. You know, Molly, for a while there today, I almost begun to have doubts if I could sell them bottles.
Say, what on earth do you suppose Mrs. Uppington wants them for?
I don't know, but I kind of regret leaving them go at $75. I wish I'd asked 100.
Well, you know, it cost her almost that anyway. I saw the bill she signed for dinner at the 400 Club.
Yeah?
You know how much?
No.
$22.
$22? Oh, that couldn't be just for that one meal for the 3 of us. She must be boarding there by the week.
No, sir, it was nearly $7 apiece.
Say, that was a mighty nice dinner, too, wasn't it?
I thought you said it wasn't so hot.
Well, that was before I knew it cost $7. And I still say, though, that was the worst cider I ever drunk.
You do? That wasn't cider. That was champagne.
It was? I thought the waiter said his mother made it.
No, he did not. He said it was Mum.
Who's that?
Search me. Better get that $75 outside. Come in.
Well, hello there, folks. How's every little thing?
Why, just wonderful, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, better than they've been for a long time, guilty old man.
Really?
Why, certainly.
Well, that's fine, McGee. I just stopped in, McGee, to ask you if you could get into one of my suits.
Well, we could both get into one of your suits. Why should we?
Why, sure, he's got clothes of his own.
Yes, I know, but I thought that, how you fix the groceries, McGee.
Groceries?
Hey, what is this? Wait a minute. First you offer me your old clothes, then you offer us food. That ratted Gildersleeve, if you think for 1 minute...
Now, take it easy, little chum. Take it easy. It's no disgrace to be poor.
Oh, I'll say it isn't.
What are you driving at anyway, you big baboon?
Now, look here, little pal. Why don't you let me make you a small loan? Sort of size you over until...
That ratted Gildersleeve, you cut that out. I don't want any money, and I don't want any clothes, and I don't want any groceries. Well, shucks, anybody think we didn't know where the next meal was coming from?
Well, do you?
What's that?
Now, Mrs. McGee, maybe I can talk sensibly with you. I know all about it. Mrs. Uppington told me.
She told you what, Gildersleeve?
About how she got word that you had your car full of junk and trying to sell it, McGee. Imagine Fibber McGee, my pal, my neighbor, reduced to selling old bottles. Why didn't you let somebody know, McGee? We'd all been glad to help you.
Well, of all the...
Well, I'll be it.
It's all right, chum. We won't say a word about this outside. But when Mrs. Uppington told me she felt so sorry for you that she took you in and bought you a warm meal, then paid you $75 for a useless ton of old bottles, well, that got me, McGee.
Oh, so that's why you... Oh!
That doesn't. That absolutely doesn't. Molly, never let me see another bottle in this house as long as I live.
There's only one bottle left in the house, dearie.
Well, where is it?
Upstairs.
Well, go get it and throw it away.
Impossible.
Why?
Uncle Dennis won't let go of it.
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment. When that young son of yours goes tromping across your clean kitchen floor in his wet, muddy shoes, do you scold him and then feel sorry about it afterwards? Well, it's a natural thing to do. But isn't it better to protect your floors with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat and not have to worry about it at all? Glow coat is the easy, modern way to keep linoleum floors clean and sparkling with a minimum of work. All you do is apply and let dry. Without any rubbing or buffing, your floors are protected with a gleaming, long-lasting polish. Glow coat keeps the colors of linoleum looking like new. Makes the linoleum itself last much longer. So you see, Glow Coat saves twice. Saves you tiresome work and saves your linoleum. In millions of homes, women swear by Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat. Be sure to buy a can tomorrow. Oh, yes, remember, you save money on the larger sizes.
You know, Molly, what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to buy Gildersleeve a big, expensive present just because he tried to be so nice to us.
Yeah? Mrs. Uppington was nice, too, McGee.
Yes?
Though she didn't have to run and tell Mr. Gildersleeve about it.
No, but I certainly give her a lot of credit.
You're going to pay the money right back, aren't you?
No, for that, she's got to give me a lot of credit. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
Here's a special message to all high school boys.
Fellow classmen, if your folks are like mine and say you should have some real work to do around the house, well, here's a tip. Ask for the job of cleaning and waxing the car. There's nothing to it. Use Johnson's Carnu, C-A-R-N-U. It cleans and wax polishes in one simple operation. And if you're any good at all, you'll be finished in about an hour. Don't forget the name, Johnson's Carnu.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Fibber McGee and Molly. Fibber McGee and Molly, with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show opens with My Mind's on You. If you were listening last week, you'll know that our friends got themselves into a spot where everybody in town thought they were broke. Even if you weren't listening, that's what happened. And so in order to correct that impression, a lovely buffet supper will be held tonight for a number of lovely people at 79 Wistful Vista, the lovely home of that lovely couple, Fibber McGee and Molly.
McGee, look at that buffet lunch I fixed up. Isn't it beautiful?
Boy, I'll say it is. It's lovely. Looks good enough to eat.
It is to eat.
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Hey, where'd you ever get those grapefruit? I never saw any like that there before.
Like what?
With them little weenies growing out of them. What'll them horticulturists think of next?
Those are cocktail sausages, and I stuck them in there with toothpicks.
Oh.
Does everything look all right?
Oh, wonderful. As the wife says when she aimed to kick at her husband under the bridge table, this is going to be some shindig.
Say, we'll show everybody in town that the McGees aren't broke or in need of anything.
You betcha.
Did you tell Mr. Gildersleeve to bring over a dozen folding chairs?
Yes, Mrs. Uppington is going to borrow us the loan of her big punch bowl.
Oh. Well, I've asked Mr. Wilcox to bring some of his phonograph records.
What's phonograph? What's the matter with the ones we got?
Did you ever try to rumba a cone on the telephone? And another thing, how about extra playing cards?
Horatio K. Boomer's bringing them.
Well, I guess we're all set then.
Yes, sir. And this will show our friends that the McGees don't need help from anybody.
That's right.
Why, when this party is over, we...
Oh, here they come, McGee. Who is it?
Wilcox and Billy Mills. Come in, fellas.
Well, hello. Hello, boys. Glad you could come. Make yourselves right at home. You're the first one.
Anything I can do to help, folks?
No, Arlo, we got wax on everything but the stuffed celery. So just unlax. Oh, what do you say, Billy?
Which way are the pretzels?
Why, the way all pretzels are, kind of twisted up like this. Show him to the pretzels, Mr. Wilcox.
Sure. And look, Bill, don't eat too many pretzels. They make you thirsty.
Superfluous, aren't they? Take him away, Harlow. Take him away. We got to get busy.
Oh, hello, Mr. DePoplis. Come right in.
Thank you, Choopy. And if there is being anything I can do to be of insistence, maybe I could play the piano for people.
I didn't know you could play the piano, Nick.
Me either, Fizzer. But I'm willing to try. For script's sakes, my little boy Demetrios is only 6 years old, and he's playing the piano, and if a kid's that age who isn't dry behind my ears can do it, who am I?
Well, you go right ahead and try your luck, Mr. DePoplis. Oh, say, McGee, I forgot something.
You did?
Yes, I was going to order a corsage for myself, and I forgot all about it.
Ah, go on. You don't need a corsage. You got as good a figure as any woman in town. And what's more...
Greetings.
Oh,
What a lovely night for a party.
Come in, Abigail, and what have you got there?
Oh, this is the goldfish bowl you wanted, my dear.
Goldfish bowl? Now, look, McGee, did
Hey,
you...
I didn't ask her for any goldfish bowl. I just told her butler over the phone that we wanted that big bowl of uppies.
Oh, he thought that you said that big bowl of guppies.
Oh, sure.
Well, we'll put the guppies in the bathtub, and I'll wash out the bowl for the punch. That's all we have to mix it in, except the umbrella stand.
Oh, and that would never do, would it, my dear? Somebody might put a stick in it.
You may be a social butterfly to everybody else, Uppy, but to me, you're just a Miller. And I do mean Joe.
Well, you go right in and make yourself at home, Abigail.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Oh, there's Billy Mills, the dear boy. I'll wish you.
The canvas is on. How did a dim bulb like her ever get to be a social light?
Now, listen, McGee, she's all right.
Hey,
She's just...
did you ever find anybody to turn the ice cream freezer?
Sure I did, dearie. Come on out in the kitchen and see.
Oh, okay.
Hello there, Johnny John Daughter. Hello, Johnny. My plate slipped there a second. Hope you ain't ready for this ice cream. Takes time, you know.
How you coming with it, old-timer?
Kind of slow, Johnny. But I'd go faster if I felt better.
Oh, don't you feel well?
No, can't you tell? Got the chills and fever, daughter.
Oh.
From waist up, I'm hot in a dime store frying pan. From my galluses down, I'm colder than a hound dog's nose.
Well, no wonder you're sitting on that extra cake of ice.
Hey? Oh, yes. For a while there, I thought I was coming down with the old monia.
Pneumonia.
Not to me, Johnny. Had it twice before. Well, I better get on with my freezing, kids.
Say, are you sure you know when it's done, Mr. Oldtimer?
Yep, sure do, daughter. I start out turning the freezer like all get out. Looking forward to getting a taste of it when it's finished. Then, as I keep a turning, I get it tighter and tighter till I don't give a whoop or a holler if I ever taste ice cream again. When I feel like that, Johnny, it's done.
Track and sees this other train coming at him, he says to the fireman, "Did you ever have one of them days when everything seemed to go wrong?"
Say, McGee, may I speak to you a minute?
Sure. Excuse me a minute, folks. What's the matter, Molly? The party's going swell.
Well, I believe it is at that, dearie, but say, where's Mr. Gildersleeve?
Search me. Maybe he had to stay late at the office. I'll give him a ring and see.
Well, here's the phone.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me Wistful Vista 678. Oh, is that you, Mert? How's every little thing, Mert? Tis, eh? What's say, Mert? Your kid brother. Oh, dear. Broken back, eh?
Oh, heavenly days, how terrible.
Oh, it ain't so bad. Her brother started to hitchhike to California with only $3. Got as far as Peoria, and now he's broke. And back. What's say, Mert? Huh? Oh, okay, I'll call later.
Say, and another thing, McGee.
Huh?
Who invited the doctor to our party?
I did.
Why?
Well, just in case. We've had these buffet parties before with the same crowd, and there's one guy who always overeats.
Who?
Me.
Well, now, if the doctor...
Hey, folks, may I use your phone for a long-distance call? I want to talk to my wife. She's visiting friends in Phoenix.
Oh, sure, go right ahead, Mr. Wilcox. Though it may take you a long time to get an answer.
Why, Molly?
Well, they're 2 or 3 hours later out there than we are.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll try it anyway. Hand me the phone, Fibber, thanks. Hello, operator, give me long distance. Oh, is that you, Mert?
Oh.
How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? Well, give me long distance anyway, will you, Mert? Thanks.
He knows Mert, too, dear he?
Not as well as me. I do gags with her.
Hello, long distance. Give me Phoenix 190-7865. Mrs. Harlow Wilcox. No, Wilcox. W as in wax, I as in indispensable, L as in lovely, C as in cleanliness, O as in housewife, and X as in exquisite. That's it, Wilcox.
Come on, Molly. We shouldn't ought to be listening in on his private calls.
Be quiet, I can't hear.
Hello? Hello? Hello, that's you, Angel Puss? This is Tuffy Wuffy.
Oh, now I am glad that doctor's here. I think I'm going to be sick.
Hush.
No, sweetheart, I'm at a party at the McGee's. The McGee's, you remember, Fibber McGee and Molly. What? No, I don't want to describe them. They're standing right here with me. Yes, everything's fine, sweetie pie. I've waxed all the furniture and woodwork all through the house, and it looks beautiful. What? Oh, that's fine. Been doing any horseback riding out there? You have? Well, sit down and write me a letter and tell me all about it. What? Oh, well, stand up and write me a letter then. And don't worry about the house. Okay, cutie, be a good girl. Goodbye.
How did you ever take enough time off from business to propose to that gal, Harlow?
Oh, I didn't take any time off. I was down on my knees anyway, looking at the floors. Well, much obliged, folks.
Say, come on, McGee. We better join the party, too.
Well, how's everybody getting along?
How about you, Doctor? Are you enjoying yourself?
Ah, yes, indeed, Mr. McGee. Having a splendid time. Mrs. Uppington has been telling me all about her operation.
Say, speaking of operations, Doc, what do you do for moles?
Set a trap for them, old man. They'll simply ruin your lawn.
Say, I ran into an unusual medical case the other day, Doc. I saw a newborn baby with a neck 3 feet long.
Oh, good heavens. Wasn't the mother simply horrified?
No, she was a giraffe, too.
Reminds me of a friend I went to see yesterday in the hospital. Very sad case of lead poisoning.
Oh, what caused it, Mr. Boomer?
5 aces.
Well, come on, folks. How about a game of kick the wicket?
Well, you'll have to excuse us a minute, folks. There's somebody at the door. Come on, dearie.
Oh, McGee!
I'm coming.
Here, take a few of these chairs out from under my chins, will you, McGee? I guess I tried to carry too many at one time.
Trouble with you is, Gildy, if you don't keep yourself in good physical condition.
Come on, McGee. Take some of these chairs.
Say, you know, I think Mr. Gildersleeve is in very good condition, McGee.
Yeah?
You see how red his face is? He must have wonderful circulation.
Please, folks, I can't hold these chairs much longer.
What you need, Gildy, is more exercise.
Yes.
Say, maybe he smokes too much. That makes a person very short-waisted.
You mean short-winded, Molly. Now, look here, Gildersleeve. If I was you, I'd start taking cold showers every morning, followed by a...
Oh, McGee, please take these chairs. My arms are killing me.
That's exactly what I mean. You ain't got any reserve. Your energy is all...
You better take those chairs. Better take the chairs, McGee, before he faints.
Huh? Oh, the chairs. Oh, shucks, why didn't he say something about that? Just rack them against the wall or anywhere, Gildy.
He said rack 'em, not wreck 'em, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I couldn't help it, Mrs. McGee. My strength was ebbing away.
Of course your strength was elbowing away, Gildy. You ain't got any endurance.
Oh, I haven't, eh? McGee, I've stood about as much of this as I can stand.
See? No endurance.
Is that so? Why, you little mollycoddle?
Who's a mollycoddle?
I am.
He is not.
You are, too.
Am I?
Now, look, boys, if you two want to fight, go out behind the garage and fight.
Why, Molly, what are you trying to do? Stir up trouble between I and my pal Gildersleeve?
My pal Gildersleeve and me, McGee.
Oh, you got a pal named Gildersleeve, too? That's a coincidence, ain't it?
Any relation?
It's the first cousin of... No! I meant myself.
Can't you talk about anything but yourself?
No.
Trouble with you is you don't mix with people enough, Gildy.
No, come on in and join the party, Mr. Gildersleeve. You'll find the rest of the people in the other room.
All right. I hope there's dancing.
Oh. Do you like to dance, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I love it. When I was in college, I had a big picture of Irene Castle on my dresser.
Oh, did you ever dance with her, Gildy?
Well, I tried it once, but the corner of the frame kept tearing my coat pocket. Now, where is this party?
Gee, I wonder if the the ice cream is done yet.
Let's go out in the kitchen and see.
Hello there, kids. How's the party coming along?
Just fine, Mr. Oldtimer. Better get that ice cream done and join us.
It's kind of slow work, daughter. Still kind of soupy.
I see by your chin that you take a taste of it now and then.
Yes, I do, Johnny.
Well, it's plain ice cream, and he's the taste pilot, McGee.
That's pretty mediocre, daughter. That ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, says, I see where these college kids are taking off their shoes at dances. That's the way with them kids, says t'other feller, who was a keen observer of current events. Either too much sock in their dancing or too much dancing in their socks. Well, run along now, you two. I've got to get back to the old grind.
Mr. McGee, won't you do a rumba with me? Or do you know how to rumba?
What do you mean, do I know how to rumba, Uppy? Why, when I was a dancer down in the Argentine, I was a household word.
Yeah, and it's a good thing it was in Spanish.
Why, Uppy, all them Latin dances are a cinch for me. Every place I went in South America and Cuba, I came, I saw, and I conquered.
Oh.
And of all the professionals, took a back seat when I did the rumba. Rumba Seat McGee, I was known as in them days.
Oh, my.
Fill this up again, Wilcox. I'll need my strength for this.
Rumba Seat McGee, raising the roof and ringing the rafters from Rio de Rosario as the red-hot razzle-dazzle ring-tailed roar of the rhythm Romeos, running riot at restaurants, rodeos, ranchos, and royal receptions with a repertoire of rippling, rollicking routines, risking the raspberries, razors, and ridicule of the riffraff by revising the rules of ragtime rug-cutting in the romantic republic, and receiving raves, rhapsodies, and riches from the real rulers of the roof, who rig me in ruffles and ribbles to dance the Cuban reel. But here's the King's men singing Ezekiel saw the wheel.
Ezekiel saw the wheel and a wheel and a wheel and a wheel and a wheel in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Oh, Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air. The little wheel run by faith, and the big wheel run by the grace of God. There's a wheel, a wheel, a wheel, a wheel, way in the middle of the air. Some go to church, want to sing and shout, way in the middle of the air. Before 6 months, days all turned out, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Oh, Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air. The little wheel run by faith, and the big wheel run by the grace of God. There's a wheel, and a wheel, and a wheel, and a wheel, way in the middle of the air. Let me tell you what a hip girl do, way in the middle of the air. You talk about me and you talk about you, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw that wheel, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw that wheel, way in the middle of the air. The little wheel run by faith and the big wheel run by the grace of God. My children, one of these days, bound that 12 o'clock, way up in the middle of the air. This whole wide world is gonna be reeling rock, like Daddy in his rocking chair. Ezekiel saw that wheel rocking away up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel rocking away in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw that wheel way in the middle of the air. The little wheel run by faith, and the big wheel run by the grace of God. The wheel, the wheel, the wheel, the wheel, way in the middle of the air.
Well, has everyone had enough to eat?
Oh, my, yes, Mrs. McGee. and what a delightful buffet. The food is simply delicious, and oh, my dear, you certainly know your ham.
Well, I ought to. I've been married to him for 20 years.
Okay, let it go. Now, look, folks, the old timer will have the ice cream done in just a few minutes.
In the meantime, let's ask Mr. Boomer to show us some card tricks.
Well, Mr. Boomer has already shown me some card tricks. Wonderful illusion, too. I thought we were playing blackjack.
Oh, do show us some sleight of hand, Horatio.
Certainly, my dear, certainly. I'll start with my celebrated feat of making a $20 bill disappear. It will then be found embedded in the heart of an ordinary lemon with the skin unbroken.
Oh, can you really do
Oh,
that?
it's nothing. Now, wait a minute. Let me see. Where did I put that $20 bill? $20 bill, $20 bill. Here's a $40 set of false whiskers, and that ain't hay. Here's a postcard from an old college chum. Tried to get him to go to a bachelor's dinner with me last night, and he pulled a wife on me. Yes. Here's a necktie from a lady friend, knitted for me to match my eyes. Ever see a bloodshot necktie before? A check for a short beard. Well, imagine that. No $20 bill. Will someone in the group lend me a $20 bill? Now then, my next track will be
Dad rat, that Gildersleeve, always hammering at our door when he knows there's...
That isn't me, McGee. I'm here.
Oh, yes, excuse me.
See who it is, dearie.
Okay.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. Hey, what you doing running around at this time of the night in your nightie and slippers?
I'm looking for my little dog, Margaret. Have you seen her, mister? Have you, please?
No, I haven't, sis. Say, you better come in before you catch cold.
Does your mother know you're out in that flimsy outfit, little girl?
No, she doesn't, I betcha. I snuck out when she wasn't looking.
Well, for scream's sakes, while little Cupie is here, why don't somebody give her a piece of cake? How can she look for a doggy with an empty stomach?
Oh, my doggy hasn't got an empty stomach, I betcha. I fed him right after supper.
Oh. Well, now, look, sis, as long as you're here, you might contribute to the entertainment, such as it is. Why don't you entertain us with something?
Oh, gee. Okay. I'll recite a poem.
Oh, fine.
The name of it is Isle of Animals, I betcha.
Well, fine, go ahead, sis.
Poem. Isle of dogs and cats and mooses, and elks and chickens and ducks and mooses. Isle of camels and horses and donkeys, and lions and tigers and cows and donkeys, and sheep and goats and bears and zebras, and mice and whales and lambs and...
Cuba Libras.
Thanks, Mr. Mills. I love antelopes and weasels, but I guess I better go home now because I got the measles.
What'd you say, sis? You got the what?
The measles.
Just a minute, little girl. Come here a minute.
Oh, I think she's just fooling, Doctor.
Oh, no, she
I'm
isn't.
not.
This child has got the measles.
What?
I can't let her go home again.
Huh?
Now, put her to bed, will you, Mrs. McGee? I've been a fool.
Let me out of here. Hey, for scream's sake, I haven't been back in nasty since I was a little kid.
Oh, no, really, I think we should all go home before...
I'm sorry, none of you can go. We'll all have to remain here until the health department of Wistful Vista.
But listen, Doctor, you mean we're quarantined?
That's exactly what I mean.
How can we be?
Hey, kids! Great news!
What you mean, old-timer?
The ice cream's done.
Fibber and Molly will be back in just a moment.
Boy, is this a mess. All this gang quarantined in our house for goodness knows how long. I hope. Where are they going to sleep, all of them?
Well, I'll just have to arrange some sort of...
I'll get it. Hello? Yeah. Who? Oh, yeah. The party will be going on for quite a while yet. Yeah, Molly's kind of annoyed that you weren't around. Yeah. Boy, are you going to catch it when you get here.
Who's going to catch what, McGee?
Uncle Dennis, and you know what. Good night.
Good night, all.
Fibber McGee and Molly. Fibber McGee and Molly, with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The show opens with Love Is. Last week, a quarantine of measles bottled up the cream of Wistful Vista society in the McGee home. During the week that has just passed, the cream has soured considerably. And here at 79 Wistful Vista, just one big unhappy family, we find a number of unwilling guests and Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now, wait a minute, Gildersleeve. The doctor hasn't given permission to anybody to leave yet.
Well, by George, I'm leaving anyway. My business is going to rack and ruin while I...
Take your hand off of that door now, Mr. Gildersleeve, or you'll regret it. We'll all regret it.
I won't do it. I've been cooped up here for a week, and I'm going to leave right now.
Don't you dare open that door, Gildersleeve.
I will, too.
Gotta straighten out that closet one of these days.
Why didn't you tell me this was a closet?
Hey, you've been here a week. You should have known.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't know why you're worried about your old factory. Your wife is taking charge of the Gildersleeve Girdle Company.
Oh, what do women know about girdles?
Plenty if they got the proper foundation and background. But I don't...
Mr. McGee, when are we going to get out of this horrible house?
Oh, so this house is horrible, is it? Now, you listen to me, Abigail Uppington.
Yeah.
I don't mind your sleeping in my bed or using my vanishing cream and my barbecues. But when you say this is a horrible house, I agree with you. I've never spent such a week in my life.
Life? Has this only been one life?
But when can we leave, Mr. McGee? Surely they can't legally keep us chained up here like wild beasts.
Yes. Who's a wild beast?
If the fur fits, wear it, Gildersleeve.
I'm sure it can't be much longer, Mrs. Uppington. We're just as anxious to have you leave as you are to go. McGee, may I have a private word with you, dearie?
Why, sure. You mind if we have a minute alone, folks?
If by alone you mean without me, McGee, you can have 3,000 years of it. Oh. Come on, Abigail. Let's go and sneer at their photograph album again.
What's the matter, Molly?
Look, we've all been getting in each other's hair here for a solid week. And the doctor hasn't been back once.
I know, but he called me up right after he left, though. That night we got quarantined.
Well, what'd he say?
I can't remember. It was some big medical word. You know how doctors are.
Heavenly days. If they quarantine doctors, too, they wouldn't be so anxious to keep people locked up like this. Where is everybody, dearie?
Well, they're down in the basement. Boomer and Wilcox and the old-timer got a poker game going.
Oh, they have they? Mm-hmm. It wasn't enough that I was running a boarding house in the hospital. Now I got a gambling joint on my hands.
Oh, Molly, they're not doing any harm.
Just the same, I'm not going to have my home turned into any Monte Cristo.
You mean Monte Carlo. Monte Cristo was a count.
Well, then he should have had more manners than to turn somebody's home into a gambling joint.
He didn't gamble. He was just a guy in a book.
Oh, he ran a book, too. Well, that's all I wanted to know. You go in and see how the little girl is getting along, McGee. And if you hear a riot downstairs, that's me breaking up the poker game.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye, Mrs. Chips.
Hi, Mr. McGee.
Hi there, sis. How's everything? You got enough blankets? Or too many? Is the window open enough? Or too much? Is it too light in here? Or too dark?
Yes.
Huh?
Hey, will you tell me a story, Mr. McGee? Will you please? Will you?
No, okay, but now you stay tucked in bed there. I don't want you to catch cold. Now, what story you want me to tell you?
Goldilocks, I bet you.
Goldilocks, huh? Okay. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little girl named Goldilocks. And one day, she started to take her grandmother a basket of delicious pies and cakes and sandwiches.
I'm hungry.
Huh?
I'm hungry. Can I please have something to eat, Mr. McGee? Please?
No, I guess so, sis. How about an apple? Make you nice and strong to eat apples.
Do you like Superman, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, will you get the paper and read me about Superman, Mr. McGee?
Oh, okay. Anything to please. Here's the paper. Let's see, where's... Oh, here it is. Oh. Today, Superman is fighting for his life among the gangs that have mushroomed up in...
Have what, mister?
Mushroomed.
I'm hungry.
Look, will you make up your mind? First you want a story, and then you want something to eat. Now, which will it be?
A story.
Okay. Shall I tell you about the Pied Piper of Hamelin?
Who's he?
Well, he was a guy who got rid of all the rats by playing his flute.
Oh, gee, I love flute. Stewed flute and flute Joe.
That's flute. And we haven't got any. And furthermore, if I detected...
I like detectives, too. Will you please read me about Dick Tracy?
I thought you wanted something to eat.
I know it.
Well...
That's why I want you to read me about Dick Tracy. I just eat that up, I bet you.
Well, all right. Well, it says here that Dick Tracy is on the trail of a crook that's just taken it on the lam.
On the what?
Lamb.
I'm hungry.
I don't care how hungry you are, Dad. Rat, you're going to get Dick Tracy and like it. Oh, hey. Now, wait a minute, sis. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just kind of on edge.
Yeah.
After all this quarantine. Excuse me for hollering at you, will you?
Okay, mister.
Oh, thanks. The idea. Big bloke like me shouting at a little kid like you.
Yeah.
Sick with the measles. Now, it'll be a shame.
I'm sure you am, I bet you.
Well, I am. Now, which do you want, honey? A story or something to eat?
A story.
Fine. And just so I won't arouse any gastronomic yearnings in your little corpus delicti, I'll try and tell you one that ain't connected in any way with something to eat.
Hi.
Now, here we go. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas... Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jack who lived with his poor old mother. And one day he went to town and sold the cow, and all he got for it was a handful of... Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating... Simple Simon met a pot. Mary had a little... Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Cinderella. Ah, now I got it. And one day a fairy princess came to her and said she could go to the ball. And Cinderella said, yes, but how will I get there?
Yeah, and the fairy princess made her a coach out of a big, juicy pumpkin.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
look here, Nick DePapas. Be reasonable, will you? Shucks, I didn't impose this quarantine, and I don't...
Well, for scream's sake, Fizzer, I'm asking you once and for always, on my bended elbows with tears in my face. How long can this quarantine last?
Well...
I'm getting so I hate everybody around here, including me, which I don't like, because I was always admired me very much, if you can understand that, and if not, I hate you too.
Well, believe me, Nick, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have had this happen for the world, but it did, and we got to make the best of it. Can't you amuse yourself anyway? Can't you...
Such as, for instance, what?
Well, do some crossword puzzles.
No, sir. No crossword puzzles for me, Fizzer. It's too much exercise, I'm thinking.
What do you mean? There isn't any exercise to working crossword puzzles.
Oh, sure there is.
Huh?
First you lay down on the floor and do a word, then you're standing up and doing a word, then you're lying down and doing one.
But why?
Because that is what it is saying to do.
Huh?
Horizontal, perpendicular, horizontal, perpendicular. Up and down, all day long. That's being any way to do a puzzle, I've got a crossword for it that will make your hair stand on its hind feet. If I don't get out of here before long, I'll be trailers if I come out.
Well, I know it takes all kinds of people to make a world, but sometimes I think they went to extremes.
Ah, there you are, McGee. I've looked all over the house, and I can't find anybody.
No, and if I'd have seen you coming, you wouldn't have found me. Are you getting as tired of me as I am of you, Gildersleeve?
At least, McGee. As soon as this quarantine is lifted, if it ever is, I'm going to move to San Francisco or someplace. I never want to see your face again.
That's funny. That's exactly the way I feel about you. I'm getting so I detest you.
I know. I despise you, too. It's a good thing we're friends, chum, or this would end up in hard feelings.
I'll say so. It's nice we can hate each other in a sort of a chummy sort of a way.
Yes, indeed. But where is everybody, McGee? I thought if you kept me here and let the rest of them go home,
Now, don't get your teeth in a turmoil, Gildersleeve. Everybody's down in the basement.
What for?
Well, they had a poker game going down there, but Molly went down to bust it up. She's probably got them all locked in the coal bin by now. Come on, let's get out.
Yeah, all right, McGee.
How many cards for you, Glowcoat?
3, Boomer.
Give me 2, Horatio.
2 for me, too.
Here you are, my little Toscanini. How many for you?
None. I'm standing pat.
Well, Mrs. Uppington, you open. What are you doing?
The membership fee for this round will be 3 blue ones.
Say, do you mind if I put in 5 more? I seem to have so many.
I'm out.
I'll see you, Doris. I don't think you got 'em.
Mr. Boomer?
Sorry, my dear, I'm out. I'm shy 2 feathers on a bobtail slug.
I'm going to call you, Mr. McGee.
But why? I'm right here.
Oh, no, I mean, let's see your cards.
Oh, shoot. But they don't amount to anything, really. I was bluffing. All I got is a 5 spot and 4 wands. Is that good?
Hey, what's going on here? I thought you were going to bust up this game, Molly.
Believe me, she did, Skee-Ball.
Huh?
You've heard about the chicken in every pot. Well, she's the chicken.
Isn't it wonderful, dearie? Look at all the pretty chips I've won. I'm going to punch holes through them and string them together for a necklace.
No. Don't do that. Cash them in. They're worth money.
Don't be silly. They were only worth $1.98 when we bought them. And I even doubted the drugstore would take them back.
No.
Didn't anybody else win anything? How about you, Wilcox? Did you lose?
Oh, I'm not hurt much. I just like to play. It's useful to me in my business.
How can that be, Mr. Wilcox?
I wish you hadn't asked that question, Uppy. It's just like waving a bull in front of a red rag.
Well, I've always had a suspicion that poker was invented by a salesman.
You see what you've done, Uppy?
Well, explain yourself, Mr. Wilcox.
All right, look. Suppose a housewife has a full house, and somebody spills a tray on the kitchen linoleum. Does she raise the deuce? It's aces when it comes to protecting and beautifying linoleum, and it takes very little jack.